December 7th, 2002, Amsterdam. The city sleeps under a cold, winter sky. In the museum quarter, the Van Gogh Museum stands silent, its walls holding some of the most valuable paintings in history. Then, in the darkness, two figures appear. A ladder scrapes against the stone facade as they climb. A sledgehammer swings, shattering glass. The alarms scream into the night, but the thieves are already inside. They move fast, less than 4 minutes. Two paintings are torn from the walls. View of the sea at Scheveningen, 1882. The only seascape Van Gogh ever painted in the Netherlands. Congregation leaving the Reformed Church in Nieuwenan, 1884. A deeply personal piece, a tribute to Van Gogh's father. Still in their frames, the artworks are stuffed into a tool bag. The escape is just as reckless. A rope dangles from a flagpole. One thief rappels down too fast, crashes into the pavement, damaging the stolen painting in his hands. But there's no time to stop. They disappear into the night. By sunrise, the museum is in chaos. The FBI's top 10 art crimes list will soon have a new entry. For years, investigators hunt for the missing masterpieces, but the trail turns cold until the case takes a shocking turn. The stolen Van Goghs resurface in the most unexpected place, hidden in the depths of the Italian Mafia's empire. A 14-year mystery, an international manhunt, and one of the most dramatic art recoveries in history. This is the Van Gogh Museum heist. Art theft is nothing new. But breaking into the Van Gogh Museum, that takes a special kind of nerve. By 2002, the museum was a fortress, home to the world's largest collection of Van Gogh's work. Over 200 paintings, each carrying its own story of survival through war, fire, and time. Millions visited every year, standing in awe of the masterpieces. But no security system, no motion detectors or cameras could stop what was coming next. The men behind the heist weren't criminal masterminds. They weren't art lovers either. Octave, the Monkey, Durham, and Henk Bieslein were career thieves, street-level burglars from the Amsterdam underworld. Van Gogh's genius didn't matter to them. His paintings were just stacks of cash, waiting to be taken. They spent weeks watching the museum, searching for a weakness. And they found one: the roof. The plan was simple. Climb up, smash a window, grab the nearest paintings. Be gone in under 5 minutes. December 7th, 2002. 3 a.m. Amsterdam was still, wrapped in the quiet of a winter night. A stolen van rolled up outside the museum. Two figures stepped out, carrying nothing but a ladder, a sledgehammer, and a rope. No guns. No elaborate disguises. Just ski masks and baseball caps. Their way in, a second-story window, the museum's one flaw. The city slept. The museum stood silent. And in the next 4 minutes, history was about to be rewritten. It started with a ladder. At 3 a.m., under the cover of night, Octave Durham and Henk Bieslein propped it against the Van Gogh Museum's side wall. Climbing swiftly, they reached the second floor, where the building's reinforced security windows loomed in front of them. No finesse. No careful planning, just brute force. A sledgehammer swung, glass shattered, alarms blared. The museum had been breached. But instead of panicking, they moved fast. They knew exactly what they wanted. Inside, they were met with rows of priceless Van Gogh paintings. Sunflowers, starry night, self-portraits, each one worth tens of millions. But they didn't have time for choices. The plan was simple. Take the paintings closest to the window and get out. They grabbed two small, easy-to-carry works. View of the sea at Scheveningen, 1882. Van Gogh's only seascape from his Dutch period. Congregation leaving the Reformed Church in Nieuwenan, 1884. A personal painting depicting his father's church, gifted to his mother. Each painting was ripped straight off the walls, still in their original frames. But alarms were still screaming. Security cameras had already captured their every move. A female security guard on duty saw them through the monitors and immediately called the police, but museum regulations forbade her from intervening. She could do nothing but watch. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That's all it took. The escape was as reckless as the entry. A rope dangled from a flagpole near the museum's rooftop. One by one, the thieves rappelled down. But Durham, nicknamed the Monkey for his climbing skills, miscalculated the landing. He slammed into the ground, smashing one of the stolen paintings in the process. Worse, in the rush, he dropped his baseball cap, a careless mistake that would come back to haunt him. The moment they hit the ground, they ditched their ski masks, stuffed the paintings into a tool bag, and ran toward their stolen getaway van parked nearby. As the first police cars arrived, they were already gone, vanishing into the dark streets of Amsterdam. The entire heist had taken less than 4 minutes. By morning, headlines around the world declared it one of the most brazen art thefts in history. 2 priceless Van Goghs were gone, and no one knew where they had disappeared. By sunrise, December 7, 2002, the Van Gogh Museum was in chaos. Security footage showed 2 masked men scaling the building, smashing their way inside and escaping with $30 million worth of paintings, all in under 4 minutes. The alarms had worked. The cameras had captured everything. But it didn't matter. The thieves were already long gone. Dutch police launched a full-scale investigation, scouring the crime scene for clues. The first breakthrough? A single baseball cap, left behind at the base of the museum. It seemed insignificant, until forensic teams ran a DNA test. The results led straight to Octave, the Monkey Durham, a career thief with a reputation for high-risk burglaries. Durham, a known figure in Amsterdam's underworld, had no history with stolen art. He wasn't an international smuggler or a black market dealer. He was just a thief, looking for fast cash. Investigators kept watching him. Within weeks, he was suddenly flush with money. He bought luxury watches, a brand new car, a trip to Disneyland Paris. His accomplice, Henk Bieslein, was just as reckless. Surveillance wiretaps picked up conversations where the two discussed large sums of money changing hands. By 2003, Dutch police were ready to move in. Bieslein was arrested first. He was quickly convicted and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Durham, however, wasn't so easy to catch. When police arrived at his apartment, he scaled the side of his building and escaped, earning his nickname, the Monkey. But he couldn't run forever. Later that year, he was found hiding in Spain. Spanish authorities arrested him and extradited him back to the Netherlands. By 2004, both men were convicted. Durham received 4.5 years behind bars, but when pressed about the stolen paintings, he refused to talk. Where were the Van Goghs? For over a decade, they vanished into the criminal underworld. The case went cold. Rumors spread. Were they sold, burned, hidden in a private collection? No one knew. Until, in 2016, a shocking discovery revealed the truth. The stolen Van Goghs had reappeared, 1,500 miles away, in the heart of the Italian Mafia. Stealing a Van Gogh, that's the easy part. Selling one, that's where things get tricky. A stolen masterpiece isn't like cash or gold. It can't be auctioned, displayed, or easily traded. Even in the black market, a Van Gogh is radioactive. Anyone who touches it risks getting caught. So why steal it at all? Because in the criminal world, art is more than just art. It's power. For the Italian Mafia, stolen paintings aren't about beauty or history. They're currency. A $30 million Van Gogh may be unsellable to the public, but in the right hands it can pay off massive drug shipments without leaving a paper trail, be used as collateral in high-stakes deals, even buy leniency if the law ever comes knocking. That's exactly what happened after the Van Gogh Museum heist. Durham and Bieslein had no plan, no real buyer, just 2 famous paintings they couldn't unload. Enter Raffaele Imperiale, a top boss in the Camorra Mafia. He picked them up for just 350,000 euros, pennies compared to their real value. Not as an art collector, but as a strategist. A stolen masterpiece is a safety net, something to trade when the heat turns up. For years, the paintings vanished. Some said they were stashed in a Swiss bank vault. Others believed they were destroyed to erase all evidence. Then came 2016. A police raid on a mafia safehouse in Naples uncovered a hidden wall compartment. Inside, wrapped in cloth and coated in dust, were two unframed Van Goghs. Missing for 14 years, the Van Gogh Museum heist was a mystery with no answers. The paintings were gone, their fate unknown. Some believed they had been destroyed. Others thought they were hidden away in a billionaire's private collection. The truth, far more unexpected, and it led straight to the Italian Mafia. By 2016, Italian authorities were closing in on Raffaele Imperiale, a top boss in the Camorra crime syndicate. More than just a gangster, he was one of Europe's biggest cocaine traffickers, running his empire from Dubai while laundering millions. Police had already arrested several members of his network, seizing drug money, properties, and illegal assets. But what they found next shocked everyone. September 2016, Naples, Italy. A raid on a mafia-controlled villa near Naples led investigators to a hidden room. Behind a false wall panel sat a secret compartment. Inside, two unframed, dust-covered paintings. At first, there was confusion. Officers weren't sure what they had uncovered. But as the canvases were lifted into the light, there was no doubt. The stolen Van Goghs had been found. After 14 years, the paintings had survived their time in the underworld. View of the sea at Scheveningen had some damage, likely from the chaotic escape during the heist. But otherwise, they were intact. The Van Gogh Museum had lost hope years ago. Now, against all odds, the masterpieces were coming home. In March 2017, after being authenticated, the paintings were returned to Amsterdam. They were displayed unframed, still carrying the marks of their long disappearance. And Raffaele Imperiale, like any mafia boss, he knew how to make a deal. In 2021, after years on the run, he surrendered, offering up the Van Goghs as a bargaining chip to reduce his sentence. But justice, much like art, doesn't forget. Imperiale now faces decades in prison. As for the stolen Van Goghs, they remain at the Van Gogh Museum, silent witnesses to one of the boldest art heists in history. A Van Gogh painting is more than just paint on canvas. It's a window into the mind of an artist who lived in suffering, created in obsession, and died without knowing he would become one of the most celebrated painters in history. That's why the 2002 Van Gogh Museum heist wasn't just a crime against a museum. It was a crime against art itself. The stolen paintings weren't among Van Gogh's most famous works. There were no swirling skies of starry night or golden petals of sunflowers, but they were deeply personal. View of the sea at Scheveningen captured a rare moment of Van Gogh's struggle with nature and oil paint, battling the wind and sand as he painted on the Dutch coast. Congregation leaving the Reformed Church in Nuenen was a tribute to his late father, making it one of his most intimate works. The fact that these paintings vanished into the criminal underworld for 14 years is a reminder of how vulnerable the world's cultural treasures can be. Art crime isn't just about money. It's about power, leverage, and secrecy. Stolen masterpieces are traded like currency, hidden away, sometimes never to be seen again. But this case also proved that even after years in the shadows, stolen art can be recovered. The return of these Van Goghs was an extremely rare victory. Only about 10% of stolen artwork is ever found. Today, both paintings are back at the Van Gogh Museum, bearing the scars of their journey, but standing as a testament to art's resilience. For a brief moment, they disappeared into the darkness. But in the end, Van Gogh's light endured. Art heists always sound exciting, Master thieves sneaking past security, stealing priceless paintings, and disappearing into the night. It's the kind of thing you'd see in a movie. But the Van Gogh Museum heist, it was nothing like that. No high-tech gadgets, no careful planning. Just two guys with a ladder and a sledgehammer. In less than 4 minutes, they broke into one of the most secure museums in the world and walked out with $30 million worth of art. For years, the paintings were lost, passed around in the criminal world like poker chips in shady deals. No one cared about their beauty or their history. They weren't admired or studied. They were just another form of money, and yet, against all odds, they made it back. Hidden away in a mafia safe house in Italy, these two Van Goghs could have been lost forever. But somehow, they survived. And their return proves one thing. Art can outlast greed, crime, and even time itself. Van Gogh once wrote, "What would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything?" That courage, to create, no matter the struggle, is what makes his work so special. It's why his paintings matter. It's why their theft was a loss, and their recovery, a win. They were stolen in the dark, but in the end, Van Gogh's light was never meant to stay hidden. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the world of art, crime, and history.